What's up, guys? Welcome back to Movie Time. I'm your host, Jeff, and today's just going to be a short little review. Well, it might be longer. I'm sorry. Let's dive into it. Love, Death, and Robot, Volume 2 dropped this year on Netflix. If you haven't seen Volume 1 of Love, Death, and Robot, I recommend you watch it. It's really good. It's really good. It's just short animated films or collections of, which is called anthology or something like that. I don't know. It's just a fancy word. Okay, don't take it too seriously. And the first volume was really good. Different genres like horror, sci-fi, fantasy, uh, like robot stuff, kind of stuff. But anyway, I just had to get my short little take on all the episodes. There's only 8 for Volume 2. If you haven't checked it out already, leave. Spoilers. It's been a while, and so I'm just now diving into it. I got a whole list of stuff I gotta get to, and I have time today, finally, so let's just get to it. That's English breakfast tea. Very good. Yeah, I know, it's afternoon, but hey, here we go. So, the first episode, it's just a warm-up one. It's just about automated customer service. So you have this very different style of approach when it comes to drawing these human figures. They have really big heads and short bodies, but the whole premise of the thing is these people are being serviced by robots, right? Everything they have in their life is done by robots. Cooking, cleaning, transporting them. And so people now, I think it's just like a resort for older people. And so they're just kicking back and living back in their retirement. And so it's a good introduction into the Volume 2, just to ease you into it. And basically you have this old lady. She starts getting attacked by her robot, who does pretty much everything. Cleans and cooks and laundries and all that stuff. I forget how the robot goes bad, but it goes bad and it starts attacking her, and then she has to fend it off, right? And then she has this dog, I think. And it's just, I don't know. It's pretty, it's different. It's a nice warm up, but then they start fighting back, right? And then this old guy, he's quite adorable in here, right? The animated guy, and he helps the old lady out. I think he has a little crush on her, right? And he goes in, he saves the day, he shoots the robot, and they escape on his little bike thing or whatever. And then the old grandma, they get all excited, and all the robots are chasing them because they have to terminate them. I forget exactly what transpires that to happen, but all in all, it's a good short film just to ease you into the world of Love, Death, and Robots. Now, episode 2 gets a little bit more interesting. It's called Ice. All right, it's about these 2 brothers who are genetically modified on a faraway home or planet. I think the art style is a little bit two-dimensional, and the source of the art style is nothing but shades of darkness. Usually, it's like light and vibrant, so it's very contrast from the very first episode that you see, right? And so the lighting tone is nothing, it's really shady, really dark, but breathtakingly beautiful though when they go and race. That's the whole show about. It's about these 2 guys, these two brothers on a faraway planet getting adjusted, and they go off in some race. But only one of the brothers actually is not modified, and he goes with his older brother, and he's just trying to, fit in. What else can you do? And he goes and race on this ice. But they have to time it out, though, because each step that they take, or the longer they're out there during, I guess, when there's no darkness, these sea creatures come up, or sea dragons, or whatever, that come up and just devour them. So there's a time limit, and only the people who are genetically modified can make it. And so it's a nice little turn of events, and then that's my least favorite one, but very enjoyable nonetheless. I like that world, but the color is too shady, too dark for me. In a sense, it's not. I guess if it was more 3D dimensional, I would have been okay. But all in all, that's that one of episode 2 in volume 2 of Love, Death, and Robot. Now we get to not volume 3. We get to episode 3, right? And this one is the Pop Squad. Now this is one of my favorite ones. Here you have a old cop who's been worn down by just the brutality of the system that they have to enforce by overpopulation, right? And so it's like a Chicago noir style based on futuristic. So picture like 1920 style Chicago, based in the year 3500. So you have that same type of style in the future, right? So it's very good. And so the very first like 5 minutes, he has to go in there and like kill kids because they can't have kids because of overpopulation. But I'm like, well, when you further watch the episode, you see there's like the elites are way up here, which I thought they were elites, but there are people who took the initiative to live long. But the trade-off is you can't have any babies. That's illegal. So if you take this substance that gives you eternal life, it takes away your ability to have kids, to procreate. And so I like that world. It has a lot of depth and substance. I wish it would have continued. But we follow this cop who has to kill these kids in the beginning because it's illegal that they were harboring these 2 natural born kids. It's kind of like the Matrix almost. And so, and then he's traumatized by it. He's just worn down. He's been beaten down. He's been stripped down. He's been doing it for a very long time, right? And so, and then he goes off. After he visits the elite tower, then he goes off and then he has to go do some surveying or something about these other kids and where they're taken, where they're from rather. And then he meets this young lady and he sits down with them because he's trying to figure out like why would you take such a risk in such an oppressive system to have a kid? And then they talk, have a dialogue, and then his cop friend comes in and he has to, and he didn't do his job, so they had a little Wild Wild West standoff action. Of course, he won, but then, the girl and the kid, they ran off and everything. But anyway, I really wish they would have continued in that world. See, these short stories are all about our interest of the animators and seeing if they can do something with it, And so I need to figure out who actually presented that anime style and in that world. I like the characters in there. They're very real, and I liked it quite a bit. So that's episode 3. It's called Pop Squad. So that's one of my favorite ones. So look out for that one. I think you guys really, really might enjoy that one. A little touchy, but good. So number 4 is it's called Snow. It's this galactic bounty hunter, right? But he has a special ability that everyone wants. And he's this old time guy, right? Or he's been around for a long time. People heard whispers or rumors about him, and some have tracked him down or whatever. And some mercenaries on a contract to find this guy, and they find him at some bar, right? And they literally die. And we see his arm get blown off, right? The main character, the MC, and he's like, dude, your arm just got blown off. Why didn't you get he's not affected by it. I was just thrown off by it. And so we follow this guy who has a special ability, which is healing. Everybody wants, so the companies want it, the corporations want it, so they can take it so they can live longer and heal like he can. And so eventually, there's this female character from I don't want to say non-profit, but some profit organization that wants to study him for good, for the good of mankind. But she's also like a hybrid or a robot, come to find out, and they have a little love interest, of course, what you expect, right? And the only thing they want from him is just where his livelihood is at, because that's where the life is. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that one was like my third. That one was my third. The Pop Squad one, I think, was my favorite one. But the actor who played, I think this one, it was so digitally done, looking like the Hulk. I think it was like a real actor who played the character Snow. And so he lives in some like backwood, wilderness, desert kind of place or whatever. But his house, I would love to live there. Check it out for yourselves. It's on episode 4 on Love, Death, and Robot, Volume 2. Okay? Now, we're going to get number 5. Episode number 5 is Tallgrass. Now, here's a different genre. It's called horror, and I don't really do too much horror films. It's not my cup of tea, right? I'm actually getting kind of low. Oh, guys, I bought some new tea today at Whole Foods. It's called dandelion tea. I'm going to try that out. In the next video, you'll be seeing me sipping on some of that. That one's going to be on Anthony Mackie, on Synchronic or something like that. It's been a while, but that one's good. Okay. But anyway, Number, what is it? 5, Tall Grass. Okay, so it's about this guy who's on a plane ride. Now the art style is, it's kind of like oh man, what is it? I'm thinking it's like a clay animation, a mix between 2 and 3D animation style, and this guy's being transported from one destination to another, and the point is to not get off the train, because in the midst of tall grass there's creatures out there that will take you in, and you will live as, like, you will turn into this creature. And so something happens to the train, it breaks down in the middle of the tracks. Now this guy, this old businessman, he's being transported, right? He goes, I want to go out and have a smoke, because you can't smoke in the train. And they're say, hey, don't go too far, stay close to the train. But then he sees this light in the distance that just attracts him like a fly to a light, and he goes after it, right? Come to find out, there's some freaking creatures coming from the ground that's trying to snatch him in. All of a sudden the train wants to take off, right? And of course he can't find his way back because of the tall grass. I'm like, dude, why would you leave the train? Listen, if it was me, I wouldn't leave the train. I don't do horror stuff. So, no, I ain't doing that. You ain't gonna catch me out there getting lost. Not this brother. You hear me? Okay? That's just it. That's just it. This one was the second one from the bottom for me. Like, okay, I get it. Nothing really to it. I really want like a longer, expanded world out of this one. There's nothing really to grab onto. It's really just a short story. All right, that one's episode number 5. Now, episode number 6. This one I would like to see, okay, be expanded on, or a movie. Matter of fact, just a movie. It's these 2 kids, Christmas time. It's an adult tale of Santa Claus delivering presents to kids. Okay, now when I saw this thing, dude, when you see this thing, these 2 kids wish for something, for what, I forget what it is. It's a very short film. I think it's about 10 minutes long, 10 minutes easy. Okay, it could be less, not for sure. But they hear some wrestling. I think it's Santa Claus. They get all excited. They run down. All of a sudden, they can't find him. All of a sudden, some creature-like thing comes up in the shadows, and all of a sudden, it scares the kids, and the little boy and little girl back down. And all of a sudden, there's some grotesque creature that's just coming after them. Right? That's Santa Claus. It's so weird. It has arms for hands and hands for arms that covers where the eyes would be, and it opens it up to see, but there's like nothing there. It's just like a mouth. It's really, really weirdly looking. Now I know it's not horror. It's something else, but it's very fantasy based, and I don't know what it is. It's really weird because I don't like the tall grass one. But then you're like, Jeff, come on, man. This is the same thing. It's scary, but it's funny in an adorable kind of way. And then they get what they want, but it comes out of this creature's mouth, and it's all saliva and wet. And he has to. The way he gives them the gifts is he gets really close to them. He sniffs them. And he goes, "Oh, you've been good." And then he pukes out the present for both of them. And the little boy goes, "What happens if you're naughty?" I guess the creature just like eats them. I don't know, but I like that one. Is that one number 2? I think that one. I think that one's a solid 3 for me. I think that one's pretty good. I totally forgot about that one. That one's pretty good. Yeah, I think you guys will like that one. So check it out. Okay, now let's move on. I think that one was number 6. Number 7, right? This one was my number 2. Okay, Pop Squad, which is episode number 3, my favorite one. Number 2 is episode 7. Where actually I was hardly trying to determine. I was like, yo, is that Michael B. Jordan? Yo, Michael B. Jordan's up in here. I was like, yo, I didn't catch that. So it's in this fantasy-based world where they're in some distant future, obviously, where they're in space and they're attacking some creature or some planet. Really, they're fighting intergalacticness or whatever. And so this guy, or Michael B. Jordan's character, has to fly in and bomb this place with his craft. But this craft gets hit and goes down to the nearby planet, and he has to make his way to this bunker. But that bunker got damaged, and within that bunker, I don't know if you guys haven't heard of this company called Boston Dynamics, where they create this little hydro, looking robot that's able to like carry stuff and do stuff. You know, you can find on the internet, Boston Dynamics. And so anyway, this thing's up in there, but it gets damaged. And it can't detect if it's an enemy or friendly. So it just goes enemy. And so if he makes any movements, he's dead. And this robot, dude, just goes off the rails. Any little thing that moves, it just beats the living crap out of it. I'm like, yo, Michael, man, still bro. But he's badly injured, right? Because the robot got the best of him. I think got a few licks in, right? But ultimately, the guy wins. The robot's taken down. He makes contact. He sends in help. Everything. So I really like that one. I want to know why they were fighting. The style was pretty basic, pretty clear, pretty crisp. Okay, and that one, the art style the animated style kind of reminds me of the one with snow in there, and so I like that one. That was episode 7. Number 8, the last one. Thank you, Movie Time fans, for hanging in there. For those who are hanging in there, the last one is it's about this. It's called the drowned giant. So it's about this giant dwarf that comes upon the shore, and people have never seen this before. It's some like back town, like where Thor is in Endgame. It just washes up like on shore, right? And it's huge, kind of like a whale, for instance. And people are just marveled by it. It's a human. I've never seen this human this size before, but there wasn't that big of a crowd. It didn't really break the news. There wasn't government coming in or scientists coming in to study it and see where it came from. It just, they acted like it was just a whale that just got washed up on the shore. And so I like this one because it explored just that concept, but it was just a dwarf giant size human, and then he got this narrator story guy telling about his experience about seeing this and how it's just wasting there, and how people interact with it, and how people taking pictures with it, and you know, just climbing on top of it, and how it decays over time, and how they're taking it away piece by piece by piece. Yeah, it's nude. You will see some parts, by the way. And so that was interesting to me. That was interesting. It could have been longer to explain more clearly as what the message was. I really wasn't really getting the message, but I kind of understood how they were going about how things were just treated, if just how humans interact with certain weird things, I guess. I don't know. That could be it. But hey, that's it for Love, Death, and Robot Volume 2. Hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you want more. Okay? And tea. It's good. All right, guys. See you next time.